16 gunfights and 26 deaths. Stabbed, murdered, shot, killed by Indians. I am here in Tombstone, Arizona. This has been nicknamed the town Too Tough to Die. It was burnt twice, and the death toll here was so high that they had triple the undertakers the town would usually need. If you didn't die here from mining accidents, Apache native attacks, you probably just got shot by someone that was upset with you for some reason. This is the town of one of the first organized crime groups. They called themselves the Cowboys, and they would wear a red sash. And probably their most famous shootout happened near the OK Corral, where they shot the people who were trying to make rules where you had to check your weapons at the door of the bar. And they didn't like that. I didn't know this until I got here, but this is actually considered one of the most haunted towns in the US. History Channel, Ghost Hunters, all sorts of shows have come here for weird paranormal activity. So once I learned that when I got here, I decided I should look up the most haunted hotels here and spend the night. But first, let's go see some of the creepiest places here. Some of the places where there have been reported the most killings. Right behind me is the Birdcage Theater. It is the oldest building in Tombstone. 16 gunfights and 26 deaths. So it's considered one of the most haunted buildings in Tombstone. So let's go inside. So the tour guide just said that this is a very active building, as in lots of ghosts. So okay, yeah, nothing to worry about. 16 gunfights, 26 people have died in here. So there are bullet holes everywhere. I've never had any ghost experiences. My sister says because I'm a new soul. So maybe I'll be okay. This is right inside the theater. All those bullet holes. So this is where people would sit. And that is the stage over there. It's a self-guided tour. I'm all by myself in a supposedly most haunted place in Tombstone. Apparently right here is the longest running poker game. It lasted about 8 years and it cost $1,000 just to get in, and it had a waiting list. $1,000, that is $30,000 in today's standards.
You gonna do something or just stand there and bleed?
So I googled the most haunted hotels in Tombstone, and I booked a night in one of them. So I'm here at the Tombstone Motel. This looks like a very old motel, and like their stuff is very old too. I guess this is the man that's gonna be watching me tonight. Keep an eye out for me tonight, will ya? Make sure no orbs try to throw something on my head or something. I just got out of the shower and the door was open, and now the whole room is foggy. I mean, you know what I mean. What? It's like there's literally mist in the bedroom. Not ghostly, just I just noticed it and thought I'd point it out. It's 1:30. I can't fall asleep because I had to pee so bad, but I didn't want to get up in the darkness.
So finally I just turned on the light.
Well, that was the worst night's sleep I've had in a very long time. No ghostly experience, just constantly freaking out that I was about to have one. Today we're gonna check out some of the remaining creepy places here in Tombstone. Some of the places that are famous, have had a lot of killings, and people report a lot of weird stuff. So we're gonna check it out today. I am standing in front of the Bordello Inn, an inn that is reported to be one of the most haunted buildings here. It actually used to be a brothel, and supposedly a minor died in a brawl just behind the house, and he's said to haunt this place. I tried to stay here, but since I didn't decide I was gonna spend the night in this town until pretty last minute, they were already booked. But seeing as how bad of a night's sleep I got last night in a hotel that's not considered as haunted as this one, but still haunted, that's probably better. Hill Graveyard. It was originally called Tombstone Cemetery, but because of the so many violent deaths that brought people to be buried here, they changed it to Boot Hill Cemetery because so many of people died violent deaths with their boots still on instead of peacefully in their sleep. And I'm reading the list of the people who are buried here and how they died. Stabbed, murdered, shot, killed by Indians, struck on the back of his head, ambushed on a cattle drive, saloon brawl, shot. Let me tell you, I am glad I was born in a different time than this. That's for sure. Cowboy Bill King, shot by Burt Alvord, or Alvaro. So Cowboy was actually the name of the outlaw group here in town. They're the ones that wore red sashes, and they're one of the first organized crime groups in the USA. These are the
right over here.
OK Corral gunfight victims. Shout out to the YouTube channel Tolleson Life, because I wouldn't have known about this town had it not been for their really cool video on Tombstone. So thank you guys. And if you're a millennial like me and you don't normally carry cash, you might be a little screwed. A lot of places here in Tombstone are cash only. And if you do any tours or anything, watch any shows, the actors, the tour guides take tips. So make sure you got some cash on you. So supposedly a lot of outlaws were buried here between 1878 and 1884. And locals say that the gift shop has some weird things happen there. That sometimes merchandise will just be moved, or seems like it's fallen over, or just be missing when no one else is there. So I was asking them inside, how is it legal? I mean, isn't it illegal to murder even back then? Like, why were there so many killings? And they were saying that whenever a mine is discovered, thousands of people just flock to an area and there's no infrastructure. So it's pretty much every man for himself. And then they build the infrastructure as people are already there. And eventually they hired Wyatt Earp to help bring order to the town, but he ended up becoming an outlaw. People say causing almost as much problems as the outlaws, getting in gunfights with the outlaws just outside of OK Corral, where we're going next. And eventually he ended up becoming an outlaw himself. I don't know, this sounds like this town was cursed at one point. The disturbing history of the town Too Tough to Die is not an uncommon one in American history. Mining towns of the early 1900s left behind a wake of lawlessness and abandoned ghost towns. America is a vast country and can be ruthless, as I discovered when I tried to cross it in 7 days, which you can see in my cross-country kickoff video right over here.